You are Locked On Celtics Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Boston, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Derrick White, new franchise record. Al Horford, outstanding. A perfect road trip and 9 straight wins for the Boston Celtics. Now back home, 7 left in the regular season and 60 wins. Go get it. With that, we welcome you to our latest Locked On Celtics postcast. I'm Steve Lennox, longtime college basketball play-by-play announcer, former show host on satellite radio and ESPN radio. Danny Ainge, one of my favorite Celtics when I was a kid and when I started paying attention to the NBA. And don't forget, Danny Ainge also played Major League Baseball as well. You are locked on with our latest Locked On Celtics postcast. We are providing reaction to every Celtics game on the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel, as well as a Locked On Celtics podcast feed, which you know is free and available wherever you get your podcasts. No Jaylen Brown, no Luke Cornett, who had a double-double his last game. No problem for the Celtics. And right now, as we discuss on our latest Locked On Celtics postcast, numbers don't lie. 21 threes, 30 assists, holding Memphis below 20 points in the fourth quarter. 5 players in double figures. We do want to hear from you as the Celtics go 6-0 on their road trip. You can't help but be impressed. We want to hear from our everydayers and our first-timers watching live on the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel. Don't be a stranger. Join the Celtics conversation. Give us your thoughts, not only on the victory, but this road trip as well, and the 7 games remaining on the regular season schedule. You can follow me on the X, formerly known as Twitter, at LennoxOnHoops. This episode of the Locked On Celtics postcast presented by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create your account, and use code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off on your first purchase. So the Celtics split the season series against the Memphis Grizzlies. Grizzlies winning in Boston back in early December. But the Celtics, again, just terrific and winning their 9th straight game. And they go 6-0 on the road trip. Have I repeated myself before? Doesn't matter. On this one, 6 straight wins on the road trip, 9 straight wins overall.
This is what you'll be talking about.
How about Al Horford? I mean, come on. I'm going to get into something, and I won't mean to offend, but it'll be the start of the second segment if I can remember. All right? I'm going to get into something. It's a Captain Obvious moment for me, but I'm going to get into it, and it deals directly with you as a Celtics fan. That's coming up in segment number 2. But Al Horford, hey, I got a little routine. TNT broadcast, opening tip, just after 7:30 p.m. Eastern. So about 7:15, I looked at social media. I look at the Celtics account, and you see Xavier Tillman in the starting lineup. Okay. Tillman played almost 8 minutes, 0 of 5 from the field, 0 of 5 on the three-point line, and missed 3 threes early on in the third quarter. He was a +2. But I'm thinking, okay, Tillman's in the starting lineup. So I went to my phone, got up 98.5, the Sports Hub, Sean Grande, pregame interview with head coach Joe Mazzulla. No talk about Tillman being in the starting lineup. Hey, when Brown's been out there, I don't know what the reasoning was. It had to do with matchups. But Horford off the bench. Come on. Almost 37 minutes, 9 of 18 from the field, 6 3-pointers, 26 points, missed out on a double-double by 1 rebound. Al Horford. Al Horford, ladies and gentlemen. You can give me your player of the night, but I'm telling you right now, I get the only vote.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
As we continue to implement the new elements, I'm giving Al Horford, yeah, you guessed it. Al Horford is the player of the game. Now, Jayson Tatum, 31st double-double of the season. Porzingis had a nice night. Derrick White, 10 assists, double-double, and Derrick White, a new franchise record as he passes Isaiah Thomas. Derrick White is now your all-time single-season record for made threes in a season. He may not even end the season with the most threes. Pritchard had a quiet night. Tatum also had a quiet night. You expect both of those players, if they play a handful of games the rest of the way. All three are going to pass Isaiah Thomas, and he'll be fourth on the single-season list for made threes. But Derrick White, his second of the game, breaking Isaiah Thomas's record. And Derrick White, not a great shooting night. That's okay. 4 of 13, 3 of 11 on the three-point line. Ended up with 14 points, ended up with 10 assists, and was 2 rebounds shy of a triple-double. So again, just overall for the Celtics, and we get to your comments in just a moment, so load them up if you're with us on the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel. But the Celtics just outstanding. Again, a captain obvious for me. I thought about it during the game. And with the broadcast, Pete Pranica, who does TV for the Memphis Grizzlies, and Brendan Haywood on TNT, I liked it. It did to me feel somewhat like a local broadcast. I didn't mind that because Pranica brought out a lot of Celtics numbers. I've watched him before when I've watched Memphis games, and he's terrific. Long-time basketball announcer. So I knew when he did the open, I'm like, okay, that's not Kevin Harlan. That's not Brian Anderson. Both of those guys involved in, the NCAA tournament with Turner and CBS and everyone. But Pete Pranica did a terrific job, and he was right on it with Derrick White tying and then passing Isaiah Thomas. He was right on the Celtics numbers all night. Well above, A-plus effort in terms of homework done by Pete Pranica. And he wasn't just Memphis. He's the Grizzlies announcer, but he was on the national broadcast. Did a terrific job. But the Celtics, down by as many as 11 points in the first quarter, down by 7 after 1. First time in a while. First time in 6 games where the Celtics were down in the first quarter. But the Celtics really took control of the game as they put up 41 in the second quarter. And down by 7 after 1. They were down, let's see here real quick. They were down 6 in the first quarter, down 11 in the second quarter, but came back and led at halftime. 41 points for the Celtics in that second quarter. And then in the fourth quarter, through 3, you're thinking, as the Celtics had 90-plus through 3, you're thinking you're going to have to outscore Memphis tonight. Well, they got the defensive clamps going in the fourth quarter, outscoring Memphis 25-18 in that final quarter, and the Grizzlies going just 7 of 20 and 1 of 10 on the three-point line, compared to the Celtics knocking down 5 threes in the fourth quarter. And the Celtics for the game, 21 made threes, 62 attempts. That's well above the season average in terms of three-point field goal attempts. But again, 6-0 road trip, 9 straight victories overall, and the Celtics just continue to win basketball games. Let's get all 3 of our elements out of the way here in segment number 1.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
So the Celtics were up 7 going to the fourth quarter. Holiday had 11 in the third and 16 threes for the Celtics through the first 3 quarters. In that fourth quarter, White knocked down a 3 to pass Isaiah Thomas for the single-season record for made threes. I've alluded to that already. Horford then knocked down a 3 to make it 102-92. White was fouled on a 3 by John Morant, and he hit all 3 free throws to go up by 12. That point in the game, Pritchard then knocked down a 3, his first of the game, 20th of the game for the Celtics. Celtics hit 23s, and Peyton Pritchard isn't at 5 or more. That's kind of shocking, but that was the kind of night it was for the Celtics. But when Pritchard hit that 3, the Celtics went up 108-95. And then how about Sam Hauser out of a timeout? We love talking about free throws on the Locked On Celtics postcast. Well, the reason I bring up Sam Hauser out of a timeout knocking down 2 free throws to make it 110-95. Just the 7th and 8th free throw attempts on the season for Sam Hauser. By the way, he's a perfect 8 for 8 on the season. Memphis made a mini run to get it to 110-101, but, Horford, White fouled on a 3, making all 3 free throws, and then Pritchard knocking down a 3. That was sort of the turning point as the Celtics then got it back up. Memphis got it to 9, but the Celtics got it back up to double digits, and they win by double figures to close out the road trip. Let's get to your comments. PK Tattoos, more records broken. Good win. Ramping up for the playoffs. Everyone's talking about. Yeah. This isn't a peak right now for the Celtics. This is still climbing and climbing and climbing. And I think it was on the TNT broadcast where someone had asked Derrick White, did you think at the beginning of this that you could go 6-0 on a road trip? And his comment was something like, well, you can't go 6-0 on a road trip unless you go 5-0 to start. And I believe it was the real Darrell who said, hey, you win the other night against the Spurs, you're going to Memphis and you're running the table. And that's exactly what they did. Speaking of the real Darrell, this team is going to repeat. Oh, no, I can't go back in time right now. My memory's not good enough. The real Darrell, I think we got enough back and forth, enough street cred with each other, a good rapport with each other, the makings of a friendship here on the Locked On Celtics postcast as well. And I'll tell you what, I can't go back in time, but hey, everyone was a little bit nervous during that one stretch, right? But the real Darrell right now, I'm gonna put that down tonight in my notes, the real Darrell, as you're saying this team is going to repeat. And by the way, I can't disagree with you right now. I really can't. It's there. 7 left in the regular season. You're going to have a couple of days off as you find out your first-round opponent. Could be Atlanta. That's kind of what it's looking right now, but a lot of things can change. The regular season goes through, 7 more for the Celtics, just 2 more on the road, 5 more at home. 60 games, 60 wins, absolutely right there for the taking. And you're going to get a couple of days off. But the regular season wraps up a week from this Sunday. The Celtics wrap up with 2 games at home, Friday, Sunday, both against the Charlotte Hornets. Charlotte's not going to be playing for anything. You're going to see Baylor Shireman in that, final game play 30-plus minutes as well. But the real Darrell, I'm putting that down right now. It's not April 1 yet, so this is no April Fool's joke. It's March 31. The real Darrell is saying this team is going to repeat. And again, the real Darrell got a great rapport. I appreciate you being on with us. You've got a great streak throughout the course of the season. You're an everydayer. And I'm not disagreeing with that right now. PK Tattoos, the Big Al is going to be a big part of the playoff run. Yeah, and you might be seeing, again, I mentioned it the other day of, these fake headlines and the Celtics are going to get rid of this guy in the offseason. Hey, they're going to make some moves. You can't stay pat for a third straight if you're going, even if you make it to the NBA Finals and fall short. They're going to make moves in the offseason for the salary cap alone. So they're contracts and all those different things. But Al Horford, to me, he could be playing his final season as a member of the Boston Celtics. And I hope he goes off in the playoffs the way he did against the Memphis Grizzlies on Monday night. More of your comments. We've got some numbers of the night as the Celtics again go for 30 or more assists. Plenty more to come. Continue with the comments. Celtics win 6-0 road trip. 6-0. And really, they cruised to every single victory, and they've now won 9 straight games. This team is on a roll, and the real Darrell is on the record. Glad you're with us as the Celtics split the season series with the Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis, new interim head coach. I'm not expecting a lot from the Memphis Grizzlies in the Western Conference playoffs. I'll tell you that right now. Our latest Locked On Celtics postcast presented by Game Time. Hey, there's nothing like watching basketball live. The energy of the crowd, the sound of the sneakers on the hardwood, and maybe even a celebrity sighting courtside. If you want to catch a game in person, Game Time makes getting tickets easier than ever. Game Time's new feature, Game Time Picks, is able to filter out the fluff and show you only the best deals on great seats so you do not have to waste time scrolling through thousands of tickets. Check out Game Time. There are amazing deals on some huge matchups coming up, super deals. Game Time Picks even highlights super deals, giving you the best bang for your buck. With Game Time Seat Views, hey, you get peace of mind. With Seat Views, before you buy, There are no surprise fees and the lowest price guaranteed. You can book with total confidence. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time Picks. Download the Game Time app today. Create your account. Use code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off on your first purchase. Again, terms do apply. Create your account. Redeem code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it? It's playoff time. What time is it? It's game time. All right, numbers tonight coming up in just a moment. Back to your comments here. Steve Lennox with you, Locked On Celtics Postcast, part of the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel and the Locked On Sports Network as well. The Real Darrell checking in one more. Boston mentality is mentally beating teams. Yeah, that's what championship teams do. They know how to play their game and make teams say they cannot beat the Celtics. And that's the way it felt in the second half. And by the way, my Captain Obvious moment of this show, of our latest Locked On Celtics postcast, it's Captain Obvious. It's easy. No Jaylen Brown, no Luke Cornett. Now, it wasn't mentioned a whole lot during the course of the game on TNT Monday night. But are we spoiled or what? Come on. This is a fun team to watch. Going for a second straight NBA title, and they're just rolling. And it's, look who they're playing. Some teams are starting to give up on the season. Turmoil with Memphis. Phoenix Suns not playing to their capabilities during the season. By the way, Kevin Durant sprained ankle against Houston Sunday. Not likely to play this Friday in Boston when the Suns come to town. But you are without Jaylen Brown. You're without Luke Cornett. And you turn on the TV or turn on the radio, and you just expect this team to win. But spoiled in the sense of turning the TV on, committing to 2.5 hours of watching the Celtics, and understanding. Count on one hand. The Dallas Mavericks loss, that was disappointing. But count on one hand, count on just a couple of fingers where the Celtics have mailed it in this year. And I've said it with Jayson Tatum. You've got a superstar who wants to play every single game. Tatum recently turning his ankle. Missed one game. A sprained ankle for a lot of NBA players, you're out for 2 weeks. And at this point in the season, an injury to a player on a below 500 team, bye-bye. Summer started. Offseason is here. That's not the Celtics. Just reminded of that again. Xavier Tillman is in the starting lineup. Xavier Tillman, second start of the season. His first start since a long time ago against the Nets. Yeah, I looked it up. But Joe Mazzulla thought, you know what? Tillman, you're getting in there. Tillman, first start, second of the season. His first start was November 8th at home against Brooklyn. In that game, he played 6 minutes. He was a minus 14, went 0 of 3 on the three-point line. And Monday night, Tillman playing in his first game since March 6th, had not played in the previous 11 games. But there was something there with the matchup somehow, some way, where Joe Mazzulla on the staff said, you know what, if Horford comes off the bench tonight, it might set up better matchups. That's got to be a big part of it. And it worked out. Worked out beautifully for the Celtics. It really did. And again, Memphis got it to 9. Celtics still win by double figures. Tatum, 31st double-double of the season. 1,300, trying to do the math in my head, and I suck at this. 1,344 threes. 1,344 is the number now. 30-plus assists for the Celtics. Numbers of the night. We'll wrap up with more of your comments in just a moment. 30 or more assists now for the Celtics. 22 times this year where they're 21-1 through their first 75 games. They've connected on 30 or more assists in 3 straight games for the third time this year. And they have 30 or more assists for the third straight game and for the fourth time in the last 5 games. I want to get to one note here. I'm scrolling up. Bear with me for just a moment. So let's see. Let's see if I can find it here. The Celtics on the road trip. Plus 22 over Memphis, or over Utah. Plus 13 over Portland. Plus 18 against the Kings. Plus 30 over the Phoenix Suns. Plus 10 over plus 30 over the Suns. And they win by 10 against San Antonio, and they win against the Grizzlies on Monday night to go perfect on the road trip with a 117-103 victory. Back to your comments as we start to wrap things up here. Try to keep it under 24 minutes. We'll see if we can do that. Michael checking in. Ben is playing excellent now. Everybody is clicking. Ben? Michael? One more from Michael. The bench is playing excellent now. Everybody, the bench. Thank you. Now everybody is in place to repeat. Yeah, just stay healthy. I don't even want to say that out loud. Hashtag stay healthy, but just stay healthy. Laurent checking in. Let's go C's. Stay healthy, unstoppable. It's beginning to kind of look like that. At least, I mean, you're going to be challenged in the Eastern Conference Finals. Again, I'm on record. Not like the real Darrell tonight saying this team's repeating on March 31, 2025. But I'm on record saying, hey, Cleveland, Eastern Conference Finals, OKC in the finals. Go from there. What's next? Back home. Back home for the Celtics. Tatum, double-double. 25, 14 rebounds. Tatum had just 2 assists. Below his season average. That's okay. Team still had 30. With White recording 10 assists. Drew Holiday had 7 assists as well. And 5 for Kristaps Porzingis. And 30 total for the Celtics as they pick up the victory. So back home. Miami coming to town. Heat Celtics from TD Garden. It's been a while since the Celtics have been home, but back home now for a matchup against Miami on Wednesday night. So, as always, we remind you that we're going to be on within minutes of the final buzzer Wednesday night as the Celtics will be looking for a 10th straight victory on the season. 9 in a row is a new season high as the Celtics pick up the victory. And, 4 wins away from winning 60 with 7 to go. Still, you know, that magic number has been 3. Well, they can only lose 3 more games to get to 60. Well, they can now go 4-3 in their final 7 and hit that 60 number. And I've been harping on that 60 win season. I think that'd be huge for the Celtics. It would be the 15th time, in franchise history where they win 60 or more. And this is season number 79 for the Boston Celtics in the NBA. So again, we remind you, on board Wednesday night, Locked On Celtics postcast following Heat and Boston as the Celtics are going to be looking for a 10th straight win. As always, we want to acknowledge our sponsors, FanDuel, on this Locked On Celtics postcast, and a great big that-a-boy applause and a tip of the cap to you as well for joining us live on the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel. Do not keep us a secret. Yeah, 7 games left to go in the regular season. But if you've got Celtics fans in the family or in your friend unit and your friend zone, let us know. I think we're going to hit huge numbers once we hit the playoffs. I really do. I think we were over 3,400 for the podcast version. That's outstanding. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And as always, I'd like to remind you of this. Locked On Sports Boston, number 1 place to hang out immediately after every game. Locked On Sports, your team, your Boston teams, every day. Hey, Celtics have now won 9 in a row. Perfect road trip. Perfect 6-0 for the Celtics.